mountains.
When was the first time I came here? Rich in nature and water, this is the land of clear waters. Nurtured by such clear waters are a history and traditions passed down to this day. And countless sophisticated products. The bliss of Gifu cuisine, gifted by its clear waters. The land of clear waters enthralls me every time I visit.
ようこそ岐阜へ
Come and feel Gifu.
Let's paint a vision, your imagination. It started moving round the world. Dream car. Let's paint a vision, your imagination. It started moving round the world. From a sketch on a piece of paper. Come together now. Dream car.
Do you remember the day we met?
Of course. Between us, only cherry blossoms in full bloom.
I never thought we'd meet again.
Me too. Wonderful. The cherry blossom showed me.
The way back to you. Smiles ahead, Seibu Group.
Welcome to Channel Japan. I'm Makia Rai.
And I'm Makiko Tsuda.
Every week, we bring you the freshest information out of Japan right here from a studio in Tokyo.
From the economy to culture and even food, if you want to find out what's happening in Japan right now, this is where you'll find it.
And these are topics for today.
In Dream Weavers, a company that produces artwork like interior goods using old and worn printing equipment.
From World Business Satellite, delivering fresh Japanese vegetables to countries across Asia.
Also from World Business Satellite, a report on how big companies are seeking new growth by partnering with entrepreneurial ventures.
And from Nikkei Online Edition, the latest in robotics technology. So let's get started. First at this Dream Weavers, in which we introduce the innovations of Japan's small and mid-sized companies.
This time we'll be introducing a company that makes these.
This seems to be like a piece of paper.
It does, but it's actually, you can pull it open, and it's a paper vase.
Oh!
So you can pull yours too.
Like
And
this.
you can easily change its shape, and depending on how you play with it, it can be used as a small plate or a pot or a vase. And it's an interior item that's been generating a lot of interest recently.
This is amazing. And because it's made out of paper, it's thin and light and compact enough so that you can probably fold it up when you're not using it.
Exactly, and this strange vase made from a single sheet of paper is the brainchild of Fukunaga Print, which is a small factory in Tachikawa, Tokyo. We have a report on how one printing company is innovating with paper, so take a look.
What is this strange object that changes color? It stretches and shrinks, a shape that can be altered at will. Called air vases, they're actually made from paper. And these are 1/100th scale paper models. With intricate designs, they're said to be bought by many people as gifts. Surprisingly, these innovative paper-based products are made by a neighborhood printing shop that's been around from long ago. Inside are old and worn machines. But why are they able to continually come up with such unique products? Everything comes from a strong desire to push the limits of paper. A neighborhood printing shop has even made a video. A company on a roll and drawing admirers. arriving to cheer them on is a digital creator. Shibuya, Tokyo. A neighborhood printing shop held an unusual exhibition here. This exhibition has actually acquired quite a reputation among design aficionados. The highlight is this work of paper, arranged in a crisscross pattern. It not only stretches and shrinks, but also changes color when rolled around with a finger, and moves almost as if alive. It's called koshimushi, or grid insect. It was produced by Akiyoshi Yamada, the president of Fukunaga Print. But what exactly is it?
I wonder how it would be used. There's still a lot of paper in our daily lives. And I wanted to find a little charm in the everyday world around us that we didn't have before.
There are also pots that produce beautiful gradations on their surfaces when filled with water. And intricately cut paper that, when hung, turn into jellyfish floating in space. Everything is made from paper. Creator Tomu Kawada, who will be visiting the company, also drops by at the exhibition. Mr. Kawada is known for his augmented reality, or AR, programming techniques, and highly sought after by companies and the media. For example, when a smartphone camera is pointed at an illustration of a bear on this vending machine, it starts moving. This is one of his works that connects the imaginary realm to reality. He is a creator of such worlds. Mr. Kawada appears curious about how these innovative paper products are actually developed.
This movement is interesting. It's like computer graphics, as if you're touching computer graphics. It's fun.
Mr. Kawada has been asked to visit the company and, after his tour, create something to cheer on the company. Tachikawa, Tokyo. About a 5-minute drive from the station is Fukunaga Print, a typical printing shop seen in many neighborhoods. It was founded 52 years ago. Old printing equipment is still being used with care. Printing is an industry that relies on orders from customers.
We also make certificates. This is work that you really can't have pride in unless you have skills. And these are printed name cards. You also print these here? It's a really eye-catching green.
There are name cards for some well-known firms as well.
This one is for that sea-like coffee company.
In conventional color printing, blue, red, yellow, and black inks are used. But Fukunaga Print mixes various inks to produce the desired color as accurately as possible. For example, the light green of this packaging paper. To create this unique green, white, red, blue, and yellow are mixed into the green by a craftsman based on his years of experience. It's only because of such manual work that they're able to produce such subtle differences in color.
How do you predict it? What the final color will be? My experience until now. Experience.
Learning the basics of how to do this, is said to take at least 3 years. But
I've been doing this for 30 years. But I still don't think I'm fully fledged.
And going to the second floor, here they're making boxes.
Wow!
Many neighborhood printing shops handle paper products in addition to printing. Fukunaga Print says it's especially skilled at using thick paper to make boxes for food and daily goods. To assemble boxes, they've relied on this equipment for more than 40 years. This is a process called die cutting. On the back, a die to cut out the paper is set. The metal section is the blade. And when the paper passes through, it is cut into that shape, in this way. These are molds to make an even more intricate pattern. With it, a leaf that looks almost real comes out.
Right now, the printing industry is focusing on doing things as efficiently and quickly as possible. But we're going in the opposite direction. We focus more on quality than efficiency, on making something really good.
Mr. Yamada says he has a strong desire to use old equipment to protect the work of craftsmen that's slowly becoming obsolete. That conviction has borne fruit with the air vase. They're also made using old equipment. The intricate paper products displayed at the exhibition in Shibuya, too, aren't made using special equipment. But
We failed repeatedly. We spent about 2 years before the work started going smoothly. It's amazing to keep going, and also amazing that you kept them going. I didn't keep them going. They did it on their own. This is really worth the effort to do something so intricate.
with antiquated equipment, they make things no one in the world has seen. Behind their achievements is a little-known story. Fukunaga Print was founded in 1963. Originally, their main business was processing thick paper. The founder and first president, Hideo Fukunaga, expanded into printing. He built a structure to manufacture and handle any product related to paper. During the rapid economic growth period in Japan, they received orders for 1.5 million boxes a month. But now, paper printing centered on newspapers and magazines is continuing to shrink, with companies forced out of business one after another. The founder is 80 years old. He stepped down in February 2015.
When I started this company, there were sock boxes, dress shirt boxes, and even boxes for suits. At the time, suits came in big boxes made with thick paper. Now they're in vinyl bags. It's the times, so it can't be helped.
Feeling a strong sense of crisis, Mr. Fukunaga picked 45-year-old Akiyoshi Yamada as his successor. Mr. Yamada actually came from the apparel industry and was a complete novice in printing. He married the founder's daughter, Shoko, and soon joined Fukunaga Print as an employee.
I became the second generation of the printing shop. I had doubts about the structure of the printing industry. and the way the work was carried out. There were things I couldn't get used to. I wanted to change things.
So, together with his wife, he introduced the business model of the apparel industry. Teaming up with outside designers, they set up their own brand. The air vase was hatched from an idea proposed by a designer. But the unconventional design caused chaos and confusion at the company. They overcame the challenges with old-fashioned machines and the knowledge of craftsmen struggling to solve problems every day. For example, this paper cut by a die. A closer look shows there are edges that aren't cut cleanly. Other companies may have overlooked it, but Fukunaga Print doesn't simply give up. They make adjustments by sticking on tape that's just 0.4 millimeters thick.
We're making the other side thicker.
With this minor change to the thickness, they adjust the pressure of the cutter blade, making it easier to cut out the paper. The air vase was developed through such continual effort. They may have lacked cutting-edge technology, but they trusted old-fashioned machines and the skills of their craftsmen. The adjustments took 2 long years.
This won't work unless all the intricate sections are cut out perfectly. We have to pay a lot of attention, and making the adjustments is ridiculously difficult.
Man, look at all these cars.
Hey, have you heard, by the way, the Japanese company Kobelco is working to make the world's cars lighter.
So what does that mean?
Kobelco is using aluminum and steel technologies to make car parts and bodies lighter around the world.
Ah, Japanese technology. The country of karate. Ha! Ha! Ha!
Why do we always do that?
I don't know.
The talk of the world. Kobelco.
ベトナムに対してワクチンの技術援助をするとか、我々の技術を出せばですね、救われる人たちがたくさんいる。でもう一つは非常に少ない疾病の患者さんたちのための開発をやっています。いかにしたら未だ治らない病気の治療薬ができるかっていう、そこにみんなの気持ちが大体集まってます。
The sport truck. New Mitsubishi Triton. Drive at Earth Mitsubishi Motors.
Oryx is driving business in Asia through leases, investments, real estate development, energy businesses, and more. Making business more dynamic and fast-paced than ever. Oryx.
You're watching Channel Japan. Next, we have a report from TV Tokyo's World Business Satellite. So, Sasan, what's the topic?
This time we'll be looking at the growing exports of Japanese agricultural products to countries across Asia.
Well, I know that Japanese food is seen as healthy and becoming popular throughout the region.
That's right, and a big factor is the region's economic development, which is leading to greater interest in and demand for Japanese products.
And I've also heard Japanese ingredients are considered safe from a health standpoint.
Yes, that seems to be the case. And with the development of air transport technologies, exports of Japanese-grown fruits such as strawberries and peaches, as well as beef and other meat products, have been growing.
I'm sure the fact that washoku, or traditional Japanese cuisine, was registered as a UNESCO Intangible Cultural Heritage is playing a big role.
I would imagine so. And with washoku in the global spotlight now, there are moves to deliver Japanese ingredients fresh across borders. So take a look.
In October, the country's biggest agricultural exhibition, No-Gyo World 2015, was held in Chiba Prefecture. On display was high-tech farm equipment, such as small drones and robots. Among the 700 companies showing off their latest products and services, this booth attracted particular attention.
There are lots of tasty strawberry varieties recently, but they're easily damaged during transport. This prevents that from happening.
This is a container to transport high-end strawberries. It's wrapped in film to prevent impact damage. The purpose is to export the produce to Southeast Asia.
At the very top, we put in cold packs, and below the strawberry cases. The cold air is circulated throughout to maintain freshness during delivery. Sometimes in transit, there's no choice but to leave the container in a warm place. The product will end up degrading, so the key point is to prevent that from happening.
Interest has been growing in new technologies to preserve the freshness of agricultural produce. A general trading firm in Yokohama is also eyeing these new technologies.
These are the main products we handle. Ingredients for Thai cooking.
Until recently, they specialized in importing goods. But now, the company president, Yusuke Ujike, is working on a new business of exporting Japanese farm produce.
The number of Japanese restaurants has more than trebled in the past 10 years. I talked with the owners and they complained that they're able to procure fish, but not vegetables.
Thailand is said to be in the midst of a washoku, or Japanese cuisine boom. So they decided to market Japanese leafy greens such as garland chrysanthemums. But they faced one problem.
They're fresh foods, so we can't use ships. We have to use air transport. With spinach transported by air, the wholesale price is about 1,400 yen per kilogram.
About 3 times that in Japan. The cost is much too high. As transport by ship to Thailand takes about a week, leafy greens arrive too wilted and damaged to be sold.
Good morning.
That problem was solved by this man, Kenji Tamura, who works at a group company of maritime shipping giant NYK.
I'll explain the CA container freshness maintenance transport system.
He says there's a special container that will keep leafy greens fresh, even when shipped by sea. This is the container. The secret is here.
This is a device to control the air composition inside the container. By restricting the vegetables and fruits from breathing, their freshness is preserved and their life extended.
Vegetables actually continue breathing after being harvested. Similar to animals, they inhale oxygen and exhale carbon dioxide. In that process, they start wilting. So the oxygen concentration within the container is set at 5%, about a quarter of that in the air outside, restricting their breathing. Comparing the condition of red leaf lettuce kept for 2 weeks in the container to that before, hardly any difference is noticeable. The leaves still appear fresh. If shipped in these containers by sea, The cost is about half that of using air transport. Mr. Ujike has decided to use them in transporting vegetables to Thailand.
After 2 weeks, we opened it and were surprised that the condition was almost the same.
Mid-October. The produce is loaded into the container. They have carried out repeated tests, but this will be the first time to actually export produce to Thailand. The sales director also appears nervous. He takes pictures of the condition of the vegetables, one by one. They hope to gradually increase the types of vegetables and build exports to Thailand as one of their main businesses in the future. A new challenge of exporting Japanese produce fresh and at low cost.
We don't just want to sell vegetables. We want to introduce other Japanese foods and ship processed foods as well. We want to promote the Japan brand.
Aizu Wakamatsu, Fukushima Prefecture. A new initiative is underway here to ensure the freshness of vegetables. City employee Tadashi Egawa has been contacted by numerous farmers asking for help. They say that their produce was fresh when shipped out, but have gotten complaints from retailers. Mr. Egawa believes the problem lies in the distribution chain.
In transit, the temperature isn't properly controlled, or there are unexpected issues. For example, traffic jams.
Helping to resolve those issues is an IT venture called Aizu Laboratory. Company president Masayuki Hisada started a certain project in April.
After being harvested and until it reaches customers, produce goes through various environmental changes in the distribution process. We want to make vegetable management something that is fully visible.
So how can they turn distribution into a visible process? Mr. Hisada is holding a GPS sensor and a temperature and humidity measurement device. He puts these together with the vegetables. The aim is to check the temperature and humidity every 10 minutes and pinpoint problems during transport. With the measurement devices on board, the trucks set out. The path and location of the truck is shown on a map.
The truck loaded the vegetables here and kept driving. Here it's 27.5 degrees Celsius and here 21.5 degrees. The truck bed is refrigerated so the temperature dropped sharply.
Mr. Hisada has collected transport data on 2 occasions so far. In mid-October, Mr. Egawa of the city office checks the data collected when vegetables were trucked to Tokyo for the first time. What interested them the most is data collected immediately after the truck arrived at the wholesale market on the night of August 3rd.
When it was unloaded, the temperature was about 27 degrees. That's hot, 27 degrees. It's almost the same as the temperature outside, for about 30 minutes.
At a wholesale market specializing in vegetables, the produce was exposed to temperatures higher than they expected.
We didn't anticipate this, that it would be hot after being unloaded at the market. We thought there'd be air conditioning.
They say such repeated and drastic temperature changes for even just 30 minutes may affect the quality.
Quality control needs to be strengthened and the handling process improved. They need to implement policies such as putting them in the store right away and shortening the distribution time. Those are some possible solutions.
New efforts to keep farm produce fresh. Will they lead to greater agricultural competitiveness for Japan?
From when they're harvested to the moment they're put in stores, it's possible to ensure that everything is in good condition. I think the end result will be that the wonderful Aizu brand vegetables are sent out into the world.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Tokyo Skytree. Be awestruck by the panoramic view. There are so many other fun things to do after you've enjoyed the view. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go, let's enjoy. This is Tokyo Skytree.
Making better living with functional labels and films. Connecting dreams throughout the world with our unique technology. Linking your dreams now from Japan to the world. For adhesive products, we are Lintec.
Japanese SMEs with world-class technology, quality, and reliability. Innovative online matching site for finding business partners you can trust. J-Good Tech, your solution is here.
The path to success calls for wisdom that knows results. We had the wisdom and the power to bring ideas to fruition. We're by your side, offering support as the force that motivates business. For example, through our cash management service, we consider ourselves your right hand for growth in Asia, and we want you to know our mark. Rising with Asia, SMBC, Sumitomo Mitsui Banking Corporation.
And what's next?
Yes, next we'll be looking at the growing number of cases in which big firms are partnering with smaller entrepreneurial ventures.
Well, I understand that cooperation is taking place in various ways, including M&A and joint ventures. But what are the benefits?
Well, big companies have the funds and people, but oftentimes lack innovative ideas expected of large organizations. And in contrast, entrepreneurial ventures by nature aren't bound by established ways of doing things and can quickly come up with new ideas, making them attractive partners.
Well, I assume there's also a benefit for entrepreneurial ventures.
Yes, for entrepreneurial ventures, partnering with big companies not only helps solidify their business foundation, but also allows them to tap into the experience and expertise that big companies have accumulated over the years.
And if your partner is an established company, you also get the trust associated with its name.
That's right, and it can be a complementary relationship and generate synergies, and that's why big companies and entrepreneurial ventures are seen as a good match. And we have a report on the latest in this area, so take a look.
Morinaga, a snack maker founded 116 years ago. It's a big company, employing more than 1,300 people. In the past several years, sales have continued to grow, supported by numerous long-selling products. Launched in 1914, Milk Caramel. And in 1918, the first milk chocolate in Japan. Other chocolate snacks, such as Koeda and Choco Ball, that were subsequently put on the market, remain perennial favorites among Japanese consumers. But out of a certain sense of crisis, the company launched a department tasked with exploring new businesses.
When you have a long history and a relatively big organization, there's a growing tendency to draw a line in terms of the work you'll do.
General Manager Keisuke Ohashi, who's been put in charge of the new department, invited proposals from throughout the company. But none led to the start of a new business. The employees had become unable to respond to the changing times.
There's a difference between people who'll get a paycheck in the bank every month regardless of sales, and people working with a sense of urgency, knowing that if the product doesn't sell, they might not be able to put food on the table the following month.
Mr. Ohashi felt it was necessary to carry out an internal restructuring.
I'm doing this with the aim of changing Morinaga.
So, for the first time in the company's history, he decided to borrow help from outside. At the end of 2014, Morinaga reached out to Entrepreneurial Ventures and invited them to submit proposals for food-related businesses. Proposals from 5 companies were adopted. A multi-tenant building in Minato Ward, Tokyo. One of the companies whose proposal was accepted is called WeLights. In a windowless office sit just 2 employees. The company proposed a business of selling Morinaga snacks to facilities catering to children.
Most likely, if I go alone to make a sales pitch, I'll be turned away at the gate. But with the support I get from Morinaga's strength, I feel I've been able to meet with more potential customers.
There are also big advantages for them, such as being able to tap the branding power of Morinaga and procuring products at low cost. Morinaga also sends in its people.
I keep my seat at Morinaga while studying at an entrepreneurial venture.
Keisuke Sawada is a mid-level employee who joined Morinaga 11 years ago. By working at an entrepreneurial venture, he aims to acquire a business sense that he won't be able to hone at Morinaga. Mr. Sawada comes out of the office. He goes to the garbage collection area on the first floor.
There's no one to do this, so I have to do everything by myself. From throwing out the garbage to everything and anything.
Experiences that one can't get in a big company. Day after day, he delivers snacks and goes around doing sales. Of course, he has to travel by train. On this day, he visits a children's facility in Shibuya Ward.
Hello, we're from WeLights. These are the snacks for next week. How do the children like them?
They're really happy with the bigger portions.
The mobility and quick decision-making characteristic of an entrepreneurial venture are helping to quickly expand business.
We've been talking with many different children's facilities and expect to sign contracts with about 30 of them within the year.
And another proposal adopted was from a university. Rie Nojo, an employee of Morinaga, arrives. She says a certain technology developed by the university will be used for a Morinaga snack.
We've brought a newly developed Chocoball product.
The technology is something called augmented reality, or AR. When a smartphone camera is pointed at the snack box, the Chocoball character, Kyoro-chan, appears. It also works as a game.
As we hope, there aren't any kinks. The sound is ringing properly and the movement is good.
By tilting the box in different directions, its speed and movement can be adjusted.
To do something with the Chocoball character that most people in Japan know about, will have a big impact.
The university will be able to put the technology out in the real world, while Morinaga gets a new marketing tool.
It's something that we absolutely wouldn't have been able to do without help from outside. We're hoping that this will be the catalyst for turning snacks into toys.
In November, the new product incorporating AR technology was put on the market. Inside the shop, playable Chocoball packages are piled high. A customer takes one. Leaving the shop, he immediately pulls out his smartphone and they start playing with it.
Children can play with it after buying it, so I think it's a really fun idea.
By tapping into outside strength, they were also able to lower development costs.
The venture grows and equally an economic benefit returns to us. We believe a win-win relationship is the basis of building a business with entrepreneurial ventures, of working together with them.
A growing number of big firms are said to be relying on such outside strength. A specialist in pairing up large companies and entrepreneurial ventures explains.
Product cycles are also accelerating. A single company alone can't win in the market with just its own innovations, technological capabilities and ideas. The combination of ventures and big firms makes for an extremely good match.
The ideas and speed of entrepreneurial ventures. And the branding and financial strength of big companies. He says leveraging the strengths of both sides gives birth to innovation. Mobile phone operator NTT Docomo has made early-stage investments in numerous entrepreneurial ventures, a strategy that has successfully paid off. On this day, it is meeting with an entrepreneurial venture on a new project.
By making the change, sales went up by several percent. There are possibilities for collaboration in various areas, such as image analysis and deep learning.
This application that allows users to search for popular restaurants and eateries was actually developed together with an entrepreneurial venture. The company has started working with overseas partners and is currently invested in 86 entrepreneurial ventures.
We believe that we should challenge ourselves and take the approach of not just breaking down existing businesses, but also creating new ones. And entrepreneurial ventures are extremely indispensable partners in doing that.
The power of entrepreneurial ventures is indispensable for big companies to continue growing. The key to the future will be the ability to build mutually beneficial relationships.
Mitsui & Company.
Spring in Japan. Lovely views. Heartwarming flavors. And exhilarating experiences. Discover the best Japan has to offer right here in central Japan this spring. Nagoya Railroad Group.
You're watching Channel Japan. Next, we have a video report from the Nikkei Online edition. So, Tsuda-san, what is it about?
Yes, the first topic is robots, and specifically the latest in robotics technology. So, take a look.
I'm at an exhibition of the latest robotics technologies. There's big interest in robots that have the potential of working in disaster sites and other places that humans can't go into.
The New Energy and Industrial Technology Development Organization gave a demonstration of a humanoid-type robot. In a hypothetical situation inside a tunnel after an earthquake, the robot maneuvers over obstacles toward its target.
In places where debris is piled up and the ceiling has caved, Jackson is able to use its hands to maintain a stable and low posture to continue moving forward. HRP-2 Kai can climb over debris and walk along a path that's as narrow as a balance beam.
The developers say they want these robots to be able to carry out rescue work in disaster sites together with humans.
They can carry out regular tasks such as checking for irregularities inside a tunnel, for example. And if there's a disaster, they can go in before people to investigate if it's filled with explosive gases, how many people are injured, and provide information to rescue teams behind so that they can follow in with the necessary equipment.
A robot that is being deployed at TEPCO's troubled Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant was also on display. The compact remote-controlled decontamination unit Raccoon was developed by Atox, a company engaged in nuclear power plant maintenance.
This is the movement section, and there's a crawler attached here, on both sides. It moves with crawlers and decontaminates with this part. The one deployed at the actual site uses this brush head. This brush head turns and water comes out from here.
To allow it to operate in environments with high levels of radiation, this decontamination unit is equipped with a hose that stretches about 100 meters. Since 2013, Raccoon has been carrying out work to decontaminate the floor surface of the No. 2 reactor building.
It has finished decontaminating about 80 to 90% of the floor surface. The air dose rate has also come down somewhat.
Utsuda-san, the demonstration of the robot working in a disaster zone was like watching a scene in a Hollywood movie about the future.
That's true.
And Utsuda-san, what's next?
Yes, next we have a short report on digital content technology from the Digital Content Expo.
I'm at the Digital Content Expo. Here you can experience the latest in computer graphics and digital technology. I'm now going to stamp this crocodile that I drew. The crocodile is starting to move.
When the drawing is stamped with a sensor-mounted device, the outline is detected by a camera. From the outline, the object is analyzed, and an image to which movement has been added is projected.
This data reading system has other applications. This time it's only an animal that's walking, but for example, the characters can play with each other or fight. It's applicable to that kind of content and is customizable as well. We call it a haptoclone. It's a device to mutually copy this environment and this environment optically and physically. In this way, I put a balloon here, and then a balloon appears in the image over there. Put your hand in and try touching it. I'm putting my hand in here. Can you see it over there? Yes, I can. It looks like a hand is appearing three-dimensionally. Please touch this area. Yes, I'm putting in my hand. Oh, it feels like I'm actually touching your hand. It uses ultrasonic waves. This is a small ultrasonic speaker.
The positions of the objects in each box are measured, and the sense of touch is recreated using ultrasonic vibrations. The vibration of objects coming into contact is transmitted to both sides.
Ultrasonic waves are emitted at the point of contact of the objects in each environment. And as ultrasonic waves can emit power, if you have a light object like a paper balloon, you can push it down.
Mr. Makino says he hopes to continue his research so that it can be applied to long-distance communication.
And that brings us to the end of this edition of Channel Japan. We have much more in store for you, so join us again next week.